let's see what she has to say.
About, does silence make a woman miss you? So first of all, if you are dating a woman that is pretty, you know, in tune with who she is and very mature and confident with what she wants in life, you being silent and playing this hot and cold, step in with one foot, step out of one foot all the time and making it so inauthentic and saying to yourself with the intention of, you're coming behind, I have to do this one thing. I have to be silent sometimes so I can get her to like me. Keyword, get her to like me. No, this does not work. Of course, a woman like this is going to feel like she can't connect with you, but also too that you're just playing a game. And also it can kind of give off that like Playboy vibe if she's looking for something serious. Right.
Yeah, 100%. And so you don't use it to make her like you. Like she said. Like, and that's what the mistake that people make. Once somebody doesn't like you, using silence is only doing them a favor. What it does, though, is that it increases a person's attraction to you. If you use it right, it increases the attraction. If you use it right, it increases respect. If you use it right, you could use it as punishment. So let me show you guys how to do that. By the way, she sounds like she got the voice of someone that's going to fire you, doesn't she? Like, look at the way she talks at first. Look.
So this whole thing about
she sounds like, so there was a problem yesterday, Delexis. Like, even the way she's she has to be like HR. I don't know. All right, let's go to the blackboard and let's go deeper into this topic.
You know, silence is literally the most powerful weapon out there. It's a weapon that the Buddha used to liberate people from their pain. It's a weapon that governments use to manipulate. But it's also a weapon that is used in seduction. It's a weapon that's used in negotiation. And silence plays with people's emotions. Humans fundamentally hate silence. They hate silence. And as a result, we feel uncomfortable when somebody gives us silence. Now, there are different forms of silence, and we're gonna talk about that. Because silence is not about being a fucking mute, right? That's not what silence is. There's many forms and many variety, some that are extremely toxic, and some that are benign but beneficial, right? And we're gonna talk about that in this video. And the most important thing when it comes to creating silence is you gotta have discipline. If you don't have discipline, you're not gonna do this. And the way that people develop discipline is two ways. One, some people are naturally cold, right? Some people are psychopathic, right? And so they have a natural capacity to hide how they feel because they feel nothing. But other people develop that through situational confidence, where you validate me so much that I'm able to give you silence because I know you're always gonna be there like a dog. But also there is the silence where you develop the capacity to be silent through silence in and of itself, right? And that's where true self-esteem lies, right? So we're gonna talk about that today, how to use silence to play with their emotions. Because the thing is this, people rely, even people who are not toxic, they rely on your overreaction, right? For example, if I'm walking down the street and a girl goes like, oh my God, he's so hot, that overreaction feeds my ego. Father Alex feels great about himself. If I don't text you back and you double, triple text, that overreaction feeds my ego, which gives me less urgency to respond to your needy self. As you can see, silence, your reaction to silence sometimes gives you less of what you want. Not reacting to their silence sometimes gives you more of what you want. But you gotta understand that this fundamental thing is that your overreaction feeds them because they think you're reacting to their value. You laughing a lot of facial expression, a lot of responses, texting back fast, texting a lot, right? You're very easy to read. All of these things happen because you're reacting to their ego, to their value. It's like when you see a girl, when you see a woman seeing a beautiful guy, what you'll notice is that the woman, the more attracted she is to the guy, the harder it is for her to contain herself, right? They'll start touching themselves, going like that, laughing, giggling, and that reaction makes the guy more calm because people's validation is a calming balm to the ego, temporarily though. But it allows you to have access to new sets of behavior. It allows you to be more smooth, more relaxed, which in turn makes the other person be more overreactive, right? So remember, let's talk about what are different forms of silence, right? The first form of silence is non-verbal, right? Where, like I always talk about this. You speak through your face. Your creepiness is radiated through your non-verbal cues. A lot of laughing, right? Laughing at the wrong time, laughing at everything. When they say I gotta end the date, you get needy. Like all of these things. The sad part, and the reason why I mention this is because 95% of people, I don't know why I said 95, but 95% of people think they don't do this, but they do. I'm telling you, it's like nervous energy. For example, you know, when I was much younger, you know what I used to do? I used to tap my leg a lot, right? And I didn't know, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. But you know what I noticed is that when I see other people do it, to me it tells me they're actually, they have nervousness. They're tense. They're naturally nervous. And when I see that in people, I kind of like make a quick judgment about them. And a lot of the times it's true. It means they're nervous. You know, it's crazy. I started doing meditation retreats. And a few months ago, actually, I noticed myself. I was like, you know what? I haven't tapped my foot in years. It's because I've become more calm over the years, right? And so when you calm your mind, the nonverbal cues that betray you but that you're not aware of calms you down too. So that's why I'm telling you, man, if you're nervous, just accept it, because it's coming through, and it does affect the impressions you give people. And the way to fix that is not about, oh, Father Alice, do I blink less here? Like, no, you gotta go at the level of the identity, at an identity level change, at an identity level change, and we're gonna talk about that towards the end of the video. But the first thing is calming the face, calming the nonverbal cues, and the way you do that is calming the internal, because when you don't get any good emotions from the outside, you sort of know that. From the inside, your inner state feels insecure, and there's nothing you could do to hide that. But that sabotages you. So you gotta learn how to hide that. And the way you do that is through developing situational confidence, where you're confident because you know they like you. You're confident because they know you know they're needy, or you're confident because you've pulled away and you've seen them chase, right? Where that same person who's needy and creepy, once you open up and get needy and creepy, that same person might start acting confident. Validation has a weird thing on people's behavior. Validation, it brings out the worst in people. It brings out the most arrogant version in people. So that's why not giving them that through your silence and your nonverbal cues strips them from that high, which changes them. The next thing is that silence and concealing what you want. Saying you want something when in reality you want another thing, right? Meaning, you text somebody, you really want to see them, oh my God, you're so beautiful, but in person, you're very polite, you're not passionate, you're not trying to touch them, you're not showing that same passion you showed over text. Or maybe you show a lot of passion in person, but over text, you don't show that passion. There's two channels of communication, right? What you say, what you do. Just make sure one is closed. Make sure one channel is closed. Maybe you say you want them through your body language, but through your words you don't. Or maybe you do say that through your words and text messages, but in person you don't. Keep one channel closed. Keep it monotoned. One channel. What it does, it creates confusion. It makes them like almost be more receptive to more of the positive energy you're giving them. I'm telling you, this works. What I'm trying to tell you, this works. This is evil, by the way. This is the evil part. The next thing, so honestly, just remember that part. There's two parts, with your words and action. Always find a way to contradict one of the words or actions. For example, oh my God, you're so sexy, girl, you're so beautiful. I meet you in person. Hello, how are you? Oh, you're looking splendid. Okay, I'll have a great day. Ta-ta. She's like, what the fuck? I thought you wanted me in real life. Right, and that causes them to chase more, to get more consistency, to understand which one is right. The silent part or the part that you want me? The one that makes me feel insecure or the part that is really attentive? You gotta, by mixing those, it creates that reaction in them. So keeping the channels closed, at least one or two channels closed, will create an overreaction on their part, because again, People, it's like a puzzle that they can't solve. It creates frustration. And that intense frustration causes them to think about you compulsively. You know? It does work, right? It does work. Now, sorry about that, dude. Oh my God, Father Alex is moving around. He can't stay still. Yeah, sorry about that. Now, how do you deal with somebody gives you the silence, right? Because, you know, silence has it's at the end of the day, it's maddening, right? How do you deal with that? Well, you fight silence with silence. Because the goal of silence is to get your mind to be overactive, to get you to think about things that's outside of reality, to get you to project your own, because you understand, when you use silence, the brain fills the gaps with only what it knows. And what does the brain know? Well, its own insecurities, its own failures. It's not gonna think about the good things because those are done. Good things are done. Bad things, we all wanna go back and fix it. So naturally, they're gonna start thinking about their insecurity, their pain, their sorrows, the people who hurt them, the people who betrayed them, the fact that they're not worthy, the fact that, of course, this person is pulling away. Of course, it always happens to me. It always happens to me. They always lose interest, right? When you're not there, their darkness will begin to tell them a story that has been told many times before. You allow their brain, oh my God, Father Alex is going to hell. Yeah, you allow their brain to do the dirty work for you. That's what you do. The more you yap and talk, the less that insecureness that causes them to make mistakes comes out. It's just how it is, right? So how do you do that? Well, there's a method. You know, when you experience pain, you usually react to the pain, but what does it mean to react to the pain? Because people hurt you. Like when a girl cancels a date, like I would get pissed off. So what does it mean though? Well, she cancels, okay. Now I'm like, fuck, this is bullshit. The girls keep doing this shit. It keeps happening to me. Why me, right? And I see an image of me being a victim. So what's happening is that you're experiencing an abstract feeling, which is rejection, and you're giving it meaning by reacting, by saying this is because of this, and then you start to see an image and movies based in your past, and you create a story, right? And that solidifies as a painful experience. And that causes you to react even more because it's painful and you don't know any other way but forward. The next way is, for example, today, right? I was on the phone, I was trying to get my internet fixed, and every time I called, it would hang up. And I'm just trying to get my internet fixed. Anyway, so I remember as I was sitting down, I was meditating for like the past hour. And so I felt one of the ways that we do this in my course, Emotional Mastery, is feeling the whole body. Right? It's feeling the whole body. Like you feel the vibrations of the body. So right now as I'm talking to you, I'm always aware of my body. It almost feels like you smoke weed for the first time, not the high, but like the physical feeling of weed. It's almost like your whole body tingles. And that's because you're getting in touch with the reality, which is what? At the core of everything is vibrating. If you pay attention to the sensations of the body, you will notice subtle vibrations. The term feeling my hand, when you say I feel my hand, what you're really saying is that you're feeling the vibrations of your hand. When you say I feel this hand more than this hand, what you're really saying is that I feel more vibrations here than here, right? That's why when you get traumatized, your body becomes numb because your mind is sucking up all of the energy, all of your consciousness out of the body and using that to create the trauma. So as I was listening and waiting for the fucking call, I felt an energy of anger. And I'm like, Alexis, just keep feeling the body. Keep feeling the body. And I wanted to say, you know what I really want to say? I want these fucking Mexican companies, although fuck them, fuck you. I'm going to be like, fuck you, see tú, fuck you. But I was like, no, Alexis, don't react. Just keep feeling the body. And that energy will go arise and go down. Arise. And I'm like, Alexis, remember, this is an illusion. You don't have to act on it. Just keep feeling the body. And my mind said, Alexis, but you're right. They're wrong. They're wasting your fucking time. This company sucks. They don't give a fuck about the customer. And I'm like, Alexis, just keep feeling the body. I kept feeling the body. I felt the body. I felt the body. And eventually I had to go to the store. I got the situation fixed, and I'm walking, and then I still feel the desire to say, fuck these motherfuckers. And I'm like, no, just keep feeling the body. Keep feeling the body. And then I made some tea, and I forgot about what happened. But I still felt the energy, but it was like residual. Like, you know, when you say something, and you kind of hear the last echoes, right? You're like, okay. And it went away. It dissolved. Just in the air, dissolved. Why? Because I had the choice. I could complain and say fuck, or I could concentrate on the feeling of the body. And I didn't react. I kept myself cool. And you know what happens? Next time that anger arises, it'll come, but with less intensity. And you can see where I'm getting at. And this is why I tell you guys, check out that course, Emotional Mastery, or check out the book, The Power of Now, Chapter 6 on the Inner Body by Eckhart Tolle. When you practice this, when you choose to observe sensation of the body, and because what you're doing is that you're giving silence, right? You're observing all of those thoughts. You're like, fuck this bullshit. And you might even see the images of you choking the shit out of the representative, right? But you're so concentrated on the sensations of the body that those thoughts don't have energy to latch on you. It's just there waiting for you to pick it up. But you're like, no, concentrate. Just concentrate on the whole body. And a lot of you guys cannot do that because you haven't practiced this. You got to sharpen up your mind by practicing Anapana, right? You observe the cessation of what's happening underneath the nose, and you just relax and observe all of the different temperature changes. And that gives you the capacity to concentrate during tense moments like I was talking about. Most of you guys are not going to be able to do that. You got to build yourself up to that point, right? Because with little moments, I call those illusions, right? Where the body says, react, they did you wrong. And all you are is silence, and you observe. And the way you observe is not through trying not to think, because you can't do that. Just bring awareness to a physical sensation and concentrate on the subtle feelings that you feel. The more subtle the feelings you notice, the deeper the concentration, the more presence power you have to dissolve those patterns, because those are patterns. But I would have reacted to that with like fucking punching the wall, getting angry, right? Or with a partner, I would have texted, fuck you, you're fat, whatever you think hurts them. But rather than acting, you just sit with the anger. And what you notice is that it's an energy field. It's an energy field that's looking for something to take on and act on its behalf, like a parasite. And you don't feed it by when you don't feed that parasite. By when you feel that first sensation, you go into the body. And don't fall for the illusion that acting on it removes it. It doesn't. You not acting on it and being silent removes the energy. And that's what manipulators use to manipulate you. That's the main cause of your creepy, needy behavior that pushes people away. I might have said too much. I'm not even gonna lie. That might be too advanced. I'm not even kidding. I mean, some of you guys might hear this and go from one end to the other. I get it. It's crazy what I'm saying, but it's true. And because what you're doing is that the reaction is coming, but you're not acting. And so eventually it's gonna starve away. Eventually. Sooner or later. So now the next time this happens, I'm not gonna feel the same level of intensity. Because today was kind of intense, which is very unnatural of me. But whatever, it was there, so it went away now. Next time, it's gonna come weaker. And over time, that silence will allow you to show who you truly are in your most attractive self, which is presence, through presence. And people get drawn to you. They get drawn to you. So I tell you guys, check out that course, Emotional Mastery. It'll teach you this. And you guys know I don't fake who I am, right? To a fault, to be honest with you. But I don't fake my transformation. I'm spiritual. No, you've known my addictions. You know the shit that I've had, and you've seen the changes, and it works. I've seen it in my life, man. Like, seriously, man. It's crazy. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to myfullattraction.org. I can teach you guys how to do this. Check out my course, Emotional Mastery. This is going to be a little advertisement. And check it out. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, man, if you don't like it, man. Anyways, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, we're going to have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club videos that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.